Well, welcome. We are live. Welcome back, everybody, after the wonderful week we've been having. Here we go again today, hopefully ending Friday on another wonderful day so we can get into a nice weekend. There's some stuff going on next weekend. We've got election day next week on the 8th, and then the 11th is Veterans Day. So I'm not sure about the market hours. We'll have to check later today, and then we'll talk about it in the Discord, I'm sure. So let's go ahead and do a top-down approach. I was doing the trade view and then realized I ran out of time because I started trading after the report and then got distracted. So we will jump into the monthly. Monthly, we can see we trading just at about 50% retracement of the previous month's range, right above that 618, that golden pocket, so they say. But right there, about the 50% retracement of the previous month's range before catching a little bit of a bounce here. Market's trading, 37.78 right now. So no real change on the monthly. And when you guys are doing this, just because there is no change doesn't necessarily mean you don't want to look at this chart. Like, the monthly hasn't changed, the market didn't move much. Always look at this chart every single day because it's going to help you get away from that small time frame and kind of reset your eyes and maybe see something that you didn't see earlier, or that because you've been zoomed in on the profile all day, or the minute chart, if that's what you're trading, you can gain a little bit of perspective by zooming out every single day. So you always want to make sure that you do that. Okay. Morning Zoe, morning Dr. VJ, morning Roach, morning Lecker. Hopefully you are all having a wonderful morning, as I am. Um, the market's been doing exactly what it's supposed to do this week for the most part, and that's kind of been refreshing. I mean, hasn't been obedient so much lately, but this week it has. So on the weekly, we can see we're in a little 2-week balance here. We've got excess on the low, no real excess on the high, so kind of a poor high, weak high look on the weekly. Still maintaining, not necessarily maintaining this downtrend here anymore. We kind of had a breakout of that, but then we've traded back below it. But if we were to, you could kind of say we're still holding this trend. We popped up above it just barely, but we're trading back below it. So we'll go ahead and keep this trend on here and watch that. But so far, just kind of sitting in a little 2-week balance. Switch over to the daily. And the daily, we had been one time framing down 1, 2, 3 days in a row. So we're getting a little rally here, almost above that 3782.5, and 3783 was actually the level that I put in the trade view that I didn't post because I got distracted. But to get a cessation of one time framing, right? Which it looks, I mean, we're 2 points off of that now, so it looks like most likely we'll get that today. You could see 20 moving average here, 37.46. I hadn't really had this on, but following Peter Reznicek and seeing him use it so often, and being a big advocate for him and his knowledge, right? Even though we have different trading styles, I started to add it, or chose to add it, and I think I'll keep it. We have that 50 moving average right there at 38.15, which is kind of the target on this upside move here. Something All Stars and I were talking about this morning. And then really this weak high reference, poor high, you just have kind of buying just kind of dying out right there at this, intermediate downtrend here, right? We have this longer term downtrend from the all-time high, and then from this recent swing high, the 816. That's kind of the target for any buyers that are really about that life, right? And you can kind of see, I mean, we take a line here. What time is it? 9:14. Kind of get that resistance here, pop through, a little bit of support, resistance, trades around here. So I think the target is probably that 3,800. That's probably where buyers want to close above. I don't know if we'll actually get to the 3,815. That'd be great for me if we do. Um, but if not, you know, what can you do? Right, you can only trade the chart right in front of you. Switching over to the profile, we can see well, let's talk about yesterday a little bit first. Yesterday's profile, we can see we had move lower, right? We get an open on a gap. Gap is up here. We move down. B period tries to go lower, runs out of steam. Good reaction off this point of control down here. Nice round number, 3,700. Market starts to short cover for the rest of the day for the most part, with small pullbacks that get bought up every single time. We had talked about this 27 level, 37, 27 level before we got off stream yesterday. E came right down to about 20, maybe it was 26. I thought it traded a little bit lower. I thought it traded to like 24 because I took some heat on a trade yesterday afternoon a little bit. But yeah, so that 27 is kind of where that buyer was at. And then, you know, when we settled basically right on that 27 level, it really got me thinking like, okay, well, let's see what happens. You know, I wanted to get long as soon as Globex opened. We opened up on a little move down, and that kind of took me off of it. And so I was like, yeah, well, we'll see what happens tomorrow after the jobs report. Take a little peek at the profile and kind of see this big W period, right? Shot right down to the low, and then it bounced up and it just sat right here on this 27. And I said, you know what, that's my number. I'm gonna buy it, and I bought it, and my stop was actually the Globex low. So pretty big stop right here, right? You're talking like 17-point stop. Still in the trade, right? Targeting that 38.15. That's going to target on the upside. I've taken some off, but you know, the real target is that 38.15 here today. But when it did that, it kind of gave us that sign that this buyer that was here yesterday, because yesterday was a P shape, right? But we got extension on the upside of the P shape. So it's not like we put in a poor high, we got extension. So there was a buyer kind of pushing price up. We spent a lot of time above the initial balance. The point of control was basically right at the high, letting us know that the fairest traded price was actually all the way up here at the high above yesterday's open. And that made me think like, okay, yeah, this might have been short covering, most likely was short covering, because the whole fucking week was basically liquidation. And then we talked about yesterday how I think momentum traders got a little bit too short, and they had just been they you know, they showed their hand, and I thought yesterday we were actually going to fill that gap. That liquidation at the end kind of threw me for a loop. um I wasn't actually even on my computer. I was actually playing Call of Duty, but uh I was watching it on my phone, and I saw that liquidation leading into the close, and that settle right there really just kind of alerted me to how weak that selling was, right? And it was just the buyer that had been buying all day, buying all day, buying all day, and couldn't find any friends. Was like, you know what? I'm gonna take profit, and then we'll see what happens tomorrow. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna you know, tag along with this guy because I think that's who the bigger buyer is. We've got these single prints up here starting at this level here. Actually, let's go like this. Mark them for singles. Okay, so we'll know our single prints are up there. 918. All right, so now let's talk about what's going on right now. We've got overnight inventory, 100% net long, right? They tried it. That, you know, the news came out. If we take a peek at the news, we can see here, right? Non-farm payrolls, they're up, better than expected. Participation rate, inflation or unemployment rate went up about 0.1%. Unemployment change was up. Oh, that's Canada. Where's the fucking, here we go. Non-farm payrolls 2.33, and then the 2.61 expected 200. We got a good number, and that was good news. And this is kind of the title of the video, being people aren't really paying attention to what Powell is saying. And so if we go over here to Twitter and type in and Yale DiMartino, she posted this chart yesterday. Where are you at, girl? Chart you posted. Here it is. And this is what I think people are not really paying attention to. Okay, they're not paying attention to this. People are thinking, oh, the market will go back up when they start to cut rates, but the market will start probably trying to go back up when rates flatten out. Money will start to be more secure. And so, I mean, I guess it's a contrarian bias because everyone is pretty much thinking that the market is going to go down, and it definitely can. And I know I've been wrong about 100,000 times. So don't just get long today just because I'm in a long. That's psychotic. But I think basically what Powell was actually saying after listening to the interview like a couple of times is that he was actually saying, pay attention to when the rates start to flatten. And by saying that subliminally, and if you listen to the press conference, you got to pay attention and watch it a couple of times, and it's in there. He's saying that's when it's safe, right? So we're not there yet, and that's why I'm not just sold that we're just going to go up from here forever. But he's saying when we stop raising rates at 0.75 per clip, 75 basis points per clip, you'll know that we are getting closer to being done and closer to a neutral rate. And I don't think anybody's picking up on that. Right? And then we can go over to this, the Fed funds rate tool. And you can see it's about 50-50 here. So 50% for a 75, 48%, 52% for a 75, 48% for a half. And if it's a half, if they raise a half, that kind of tells us that 100x long. There you go. Yep. I mean, you should have went 100x long earlier today. That would have been, you'd have been fucking sold on the money right now. But that's telling us that he is getting close, or they are getting close to tapering off and being done, right? And this is, like I said, purely my opinion. And I'm not an economist. I have no educational background in finance or anything like that. I've never worked with the Fed, never worked in finance. Just a simple combat medic from the Army, thinking that I'm picking up subliminal messages.
Quit being so humble.
We got a heated argument yesterday. I got into a heated argument yesterday about this, about my lack of understanding of how the financial world works.
With who?
James.
Did you record it?
No, it was a text message. I mean, it heated is like among friends, That's how, I mean, that's the best way to have. If you can't have friends that will, you can't have friends that will contradict you and test you, then they're not, you don't want those kind of people. Like, I want to be surrounded by people that challenge me. You know what I mean? I don't want to be surrounded by a bunch of people that fucking kiss my ass all the time. I want to be like, hey, that's cool that you think that, but here, what about this? What about this? And James is smart, and James knows a lot about that side of the, the market, the actual like numbers side of the market. Whereas me, I'm just kind of staring at a TPO chart and thinking to myself, like we talked about yesterday, a down up day, right? This just liquidation. Again, liquidation with no selling. Finally liquidation, but no volume. So it makes me think, okay, well, this is probably just margin call selling. People that got long here and long here had to sell because of the margin call. And then overnight and into the close of that day, you had weak hands selling, right? So all of these people that got long because they missed the up move that we caught, they missed it. So they started selling down here. They had to cover. Or they finally got back into profit and they're like, you know what, we just got to finish the week green. Let's just cover our shorts. But more shorts piled in yesterday. And then they got stuck overnight. And now, most likely, we've got 6 minutes until the open. Probably going to be opening up um, on a gap up after opening up on the gap down yesterday. Let's go ahead and share some sound real quick. Share sound. Make sure it's on. All right. Oh, close. And so this is that's kind of my thought process behind that, is that this was just liquidation. So there wasn't any new selling. This was liquidation. There was some new selling here, maybe some new selling here, but probably new buying. Same thing here. A liquidation from smart money, new money buying from weak money, right? Then they got margin called, liquidated, right? Liquidated and then flipped short. And then yesterday we get that P-shaped profile, but P-shaped with extension. Liquidation into the close, letting us know that that longer term buyer really didn't want to hold. So that's kind of, that's kind of a weak look to the upside here. But letting us know how short the weak hands were, or how weak the short hands were. Little tongue twister there, because he was able to take the market up pretty much all day off of responsive longs. And then the same thing here overnight. We've got that big push down in the non-farm payrolls, and someone was just there to scoop it back up. You got a couple of minutes, to buy around the halfback, the 200, the settle in the last. All of these references kind of sitting right there, and then the market pretty much just squeezed higher. And there was pullbacks definitely back inside yesterday's range. There's definitely opportunity to get on board the move up today, and I think a lot of people did. And as we get back into these single prints, where I think these weak hands that got liquidated, they're not even there anymore. And I honestly think that if we do get into these single prints, that we're going to trade straight through them. And that would be a good sign for the bullish case. If we get in there and fail, well, that's letting you know that some sellers are kind of reshorting, and then they'd be reshorting this low of balance here. But a nice flush through and a clean move through would be the best case scenario for the upside. But going into the open here, we're going to be opening up on a gap higher most likely. So we'll have to watch that. Watch for that gap to close. The gap's fairly big, 58 to 84. So you're opening up like a 30, almost 30 point gap. Remember, gap rules are in play. Want to go with any gap that doesn't fill, even though yesterday we ignored the fucking rules and went long anyways. The breadth is probably going to open up pretty positive, right? We're pretty far off the settle, 27. We're 50 points off the settle here, so pretty far off the settle. Big paying attention here to how our sectors react early. Tick's probably going to open up really high. Don't fade the market unless the tick gets below zero, right? We've talked about that of a zillion times. We've got a couple of seconds to kind of power through this. Apple going to be opening up higher, up above that 140 level. That 140 level is the level we talked about yesterday. Apple gets above 140, the market could start to get strong again. AMD opening up a lot higher as well. Sorry, Uncle Stacy. I know he asked me for my opinion yesterday, and I said higher, and sorry.
That happens.
Amazon not really doing too much here, but getting close back to 90. Google looks strong. Google looked strong into the close yesterday. Meta holding that 90 level, not really doing too much though. Microsoft looking nice and strong. Netflix looking decent, but nothing really. Nvidia is getting up to that 140 level. That could be a big level. If it gets above that 140 level, you might see a little squeeze in there today. Tesla up above the 120s, settled at 115 yesterday, so up about $5. The TNX not a great look, um, but still up above that 40 level. I'd like to see it get a little bit lower. The VIX here is so key. Even on that huge move down, nobody was buying any puts, right? Because the VIX didn't go up, the VIX went down. So volatility went down. So a lot of people are probably long volatility and might get a little smackarooski today for not selling early. Here comes the open. Nice and strong. Josh Robinson mask? What do you mean mask? If we break the open, look for retest of that 80. Some buyers on 80 this morning. Why is the breath not updating? The breath is like 17. I don't know why it's not updating on this chart here. But the breath on the IC is like 17, 18, still increasing. What the fuck's going on? How do you refresh these charts? I don't know. Thinkorswim's having some issues this morning. It's not refreshing. Yeah, it looks like they want to go for that gap fill. Gap fill's all the way down here, 58. Watch the tick though. How do you refresh a chart? Hang on, let me Google it. It says just to close and open, close and open back up. Breath is came off big here. It was at 17. It's now at 10. Seeing that tick come down here a little bit. We're at that around that 80 level. This is a level we saw some buyers at around this 80. So look to see if the market can get back above 80, and then there's some opportunity here, I think, to get long. I'm gonna close EOS real quick and reopen it. No, it's not F5. That's on NinjaTrader. It's F5 to refresh. So no pop up above that 80 real quick. We get this selling coming in 78. Vic is telling us I don't know what is going on with that way with those bubbles and the sector boxes. It's like it's not picking up on data. Let me add the sector
Not
boxes.
picking up on mine either. I don't think it's just you.
That's It's working on my other screen though. Weird. And hmm. Well, we just gotta work with what we got, I guess. Selling coming in early. Big bid down here at the 70. Forming a little downtrend here early. VWAP's down 37.55 here, getting back down to the previous day's low. The bid sitting on the 65, 200 lots, it kind of keeps refilling. It's kind of scaring the market away up right here. Nasdaq's catching a little bit of a bounce, but Nasdaq's looking pretty weak as well, actually. Only been about 8 minutes so far. Remember, overnight inventory is net long. Still haven't got that tick below zero yet. Got close though. Shorts are covering here, so look to see if there's some backing and filling here from these shorts. Or hanging out right here, so it looks like shorts might be moving down, trying to meet this bid at 65. It really looked like the selling came in from about 74. 74, 70. If they pop if they pop that 70, look for them to go through those singles, but like they're trying to close this gap here. Watch the tick. Weighted AD's pushing heavy down here. Oh, they want it. They're trying to fill it. Okay. There's a towel in there. Take it back. Listen, take it back. Okay.
Did it get on you?
No. Bye. You too. Where's that 15's wick? What do you mean? So you get some short covering right at the prior day high. So they close the gap and start to cover their shorts. A breakout of this downtrend probably takes us back up to that 72. And I think the offer's on 74 here. The breadth is at 5. I see breadth's not showing either. So all the sectors are red. Yeah, I can see. So I can pull this chart over. Just have to squeeze it in, I guess. It just would block the 1 minute chart because I don't have it set up the same. But I have all the sectors on the other chart thing. Selling down here. Right to the VWAP here. So you see how they didn't go back and fill that right on that T2 low. So there was no buying there. Now we're getting some decent selling down here. Maybe back to the settle. Just pure liquidation. More liquidation inside yesterday's range here, right at the VWAP. Sorry guys, I'm like not paying attention because I'm trying to fix this fucking chart. Damn, just a massacre here. More liquidation. Where's my cheese? A little bit of short
Okay.
covering coming in here.
So I
I decided not the ideal situation, but I decided to buy 50 contracts at 3 cents
Oh shit.
and rode it all the way down to 15 cents. So I made, not only did I actually do better than what it would have closed at yesterday with the downtrend at the end of the day, but it actually made another $200. So
Nice.
not saying that's the way to do it, but at least it did what I was hoping for. I was hoping for I didn't realize it was going to fall that far. I was actually just hoping to get back to where it was when it was freaking $2 up at the beginning of the day. I didn't think it was going to make it there, but the implied volatility took it to the point where it got me what I wanted. Well, close enough anyway.
Oh, we're just gonna have to. Breath is at 3 here on the Nasdaq or on the NYSE. Can't even see the Nasdaq breath. It's not working on my chart either.
By the way, the bot
37.10
didn't
closed your short.
get into a trade today.
It did or did not?
Did not.
Did not.
There was definitely enough volume, but there's no counts in AMD right now. Well, at least in the, I switched it back to using the old data. I don't know. Maybe it was probably a bad idea, but we'll see. I'll play back the new data later today and see how it would have done.
Coming back up to the VWAP up here. About 10 handles off the low here. The volume, I mean, relatively weak so far in this first period. We're at about 160,000 on the futures volume. Weak spot on the profile is 56 here. 56 and then like 71. But they're filling in this lower area, it looks like. And you're starting to see like the first, well, there's a little bit of a hesitation there right above the VWAP, but you're kind of seeing like the first little box forming here right below the VWAP of kind of equal highs and equal lows here. So from about 44 to 52. We should get some more information on a break of one of those levels. 20 SMA just below 37.37. And we've got half back set on the last down there. It looks like volume's moving down here. Yeah, it looks like buyers on 44, sellers on 51. That's what it looks like here to me. We'll see which one gets out of the way first. Weighted AD is continuing to come down. It's getting lower. Breath is getting weaker here still. 44 gets out of the way. Look to see if they hold below 44. More sellers move in. Liquidation. Watch the 44 here. That's where that seller was at, and that's where that liquidation just happened below. You saw a little bit of short covering on the 41, 40 half. So any move back up here, watch the 51. That's where the offer came in originally, 51. That buyer that was on 44 looked like they turned to seller there. The NASDAQ not looking as weak as the ES right here. It's kind of surprising. NASDAQ's been kind of the leader of the downside lately. Starting to see that seller just kind of hold this previous low here. Volume is moving lower, right? We get the point of control shifting down. The key situation for continuation here, now that we're back inside yesterday's range and getting some rotations back inside yesterday's value, would be for the market to stay underneath of this 47 half where all this volume is at. Right, if it pops above that, you could get some shorts that get spooked and look for that value area high, but so far we're seeing volume move lower down in here. A little bit of tapering off the low here though. Where was that high? Volume moves down, looking for acceptance. Value area low would be the target here at 32-ish. You said you're short at 37.10. Right at the Globex low, right below the Globex low. Watch the 48, 47 and a half here. Point of control moves down and we're up above it now. So that's not a great look for continuation there. And we trade a low mechanical right to that overnight point of control. You're getting a pretty decent reaction, 10 handle reaction off that. Yeah, that wasn't ideal for the sellers there. You get your first break of trend up here. Market's looking back towards that VWAP, which is sitting right around 54. Where did we say that seller was at? Wait, I mean, the seller was a lot higher. What do we say, 74? 74, okay. If the market gets back above yesterday's range and starts to get acceptance above yesterday's range, that's where that target's going to be 74. That's where I think we saw the first offer come in. Right here, you're just trying to see if these sellers are going to really hold yesterday's range. We're right at yesterday's value area high. It's a tough trade this morning for sure. I think tougher than yesterday for sure. So watch for backing and filling. If you don't get any backing and filling, you can just assume that shorts just covered inside yesterday's range. And I think really the target is probably going to be that 74. Maybe some steam at the 66, the previous day's levels there, but Nasdaq didn't look as weak down there as the ES did. Starting to see some short covering here. A little bit of selling on the 61. See if they keep offering. Sellers just got stuck on 60 half. They need to get back underneath of that and take this bid. There they go. They're offering it again, offering it again, offering it again. Look at that 60 half. Watch this 60 half. They need to hold below this 60 half. 60 half to 61 quarter. Back to the 60 half here. They flipped. Yeah, they're stuck. They're getting stuck here. Someone is, either buyers or sellers, but it looks like sellers. Upticks, upticks. Tick is still looking kind of weak though. Right at yesterday's high pretty much. A lot of volume. Point of control moves up here. Look at the range already. 90 to 38. Big range to start the day. Friday here. The fuck? Right off TJ's 50.
Woo.
I'm just gonna
Hey,
keep calling it TJ's stuff, and then eventually, like, someone's gonna create them. Like, oh, this is called a TJ's 50.
yeah. I just realized when I was looking at my zoomed out view that we never filled the gap yesterday. So like when we opened up, we literally had we opened up on a new gap, but we also had the other gap below us
Right.
as well. Yes.
Feel like that rap song, gaps on gaps on gaps.
Yeah.
Racks on racks on racks.
My
I can't
charts
believe
aren't
that's so
working.
popular. Your charts aren't working?
They wasn't this morning. My the Denali feed, whatever it is. I don't know if you had to pay for like the $1.25 top of book for Denali or whatever, but I don't know. I had to pay for that to get it working last time, and then I guess it didn't renew the dollar, so I had to go in to pay the dollar. Finally got it working back.
Oh, I pay like $229 a month for the data now.
Oh snap!
Because it's on that prop account, so it's like the professional data
Oh yeah,
that I get raped by.
Way more accurate.
It's the same exact. It's just more expensive. It's so stupid.
That's what I was trying to say. I was like, what the hell is the difference in the data?
Yeah, nothing
So
else.
I decided in sim to go with you guys. So I have the ES Mini. I decided to go along with you guys. Well, at the bottom, I decided to buy in,
Nice.
and it's doing very well.
Nasdaq's still looking strong here.
I think you're right about the 74. That's where things are going to get dicey.
Yeah, I mean, we just popped that 73.50. That's the top right now of B period. So it's like basically right at that 74. I think is where the offer's at. If they take that M high, which is like 95, then things I think probably start to just get berserk to the upside, to be honest. But you got a second chance right there to buy the dip if you weren't convinced of the downside. I'm not really.
I should have bought an AMD when I saw it, when I knew what I was going to do my sell at. I should have just bought the opposite. But of course, like you were saying, how you don't get out of a trade and then immediately get into another.
Yeah,
in the
that's
opposite direction.
Yeah, it's really tough to do that. Unless you're like, I mean, unless you're scalping, you know, if you're just like in and you're looking for like a couple of points and then boom, you're out and then you're going the other way, like, you know, then
That's a way to get underwater though. I mean, I've done that before and it's too easy to get underwater. You have to pick your pivots really, really, really well,
yeah.
which is never, I mean, it's not a very rarely going to be exactly the exact pivot.
I think today what we can do is use this gap because it was a gap down and then a gap up, so we can just use this gap here as a pivot. If it gets back below it, we can get short. If it gets back above it, we can stay long. I think that's going to be our ticket today. You're seeing forming a little equal highs here. That 74-ish area, 73 quarter was that high. Above that, that seller, you know, seller still looks like he's sitting there, but if he gets out of the way at this 74, the next offer up was like 81, and then really just the high of the day, open 86. So maybe, but 81 looks like where there might be some selling coming in at below the open. Back below that 74 there. Let's just go ahead and mark this gap here. I'll just there's okay. The weighted AD is very slim, but trying to go back negative, like it's just kind of struggling here. The tick is not working. So just ignore the tick. It's not working. Thinkorswim's having issues today. I've been so hesitant today. I don't know why. Well, it's frustrating on a day where like the shit that we normally use is not working, right? I like to see the breadth. I like to see the sectors. I like to see the tick. Like these are these looks inside the internals, and you know, we don't have that information. So, and I mean, we haven't seen lately in a while, honestly, we haven't seen an A period really open up like that with a, you know, 70-point range or 50-point range that this early in the day. So no problem. I think hesitation is normal, basically, long story short.
You could put the tick on the Sierra.
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Go in the.
File, new intraday
I have
chart.
the symbol here, but I don't think it'll work if you just type the symbol and you have to go into NYSE. Let me see. Can I forget? Hang on, I'll get it. Give me a couple minutes. I'm a little slow.
Let me see. Set.
Dude, what a range so far.
Oh, there's Jared. Jared got to witness the conversation that we had yesterday when I said the market was going to go up. Ugh.
Huh? I did. I heard you. But I mean, about what was that? 15 minutes ago, I was like, I don't know what the fuck Brad's talking about.
uh, I'm telling you, pals, he's dishing out a secret message. And like I said, I don't know if we're just going to go up from here, but I figured it
I
out.
mean, we ain't up much, so I don't know.
What are you talking about? The settle yesterday was 27, and we're at fucking 65.
Oh gosh. Your tone like changes every time you start talking to Jared.
Because Jared pisses me the fuck off. That's why.
What are you talking about?
Jared does it on purpose too. He knows how
I
to get me
do.
riled up.
I do. What the fuck are you talking about?
Nothing was better than the other day when I was like, whatever we were texting about, and I was like, I swear to God, if Jared answers this question down, I'm gonna get so fucking mad.
Dude, we were in a group chat and like somebody's arguing with Brad and I just kept liking all that person's comments, not Brad. Oh, that's funny. But what are we gonna do from here? Because I don't know. I'm sure we're probably still gonna go up, but it just how much? I don't know.
But if you go to open intraday chart,
I got it already.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
All
Appreciate it though.
yeah. Because if I just give you the symbol, for some reason it just doesn't work. Like the symbol, you got to search it and click. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For me, anyway.
I mean, there was a ripper up, but yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if I trust this.
Yeah, I mean, so like I was saying, I think that hello, you fuck. Okay. There we go. At least we got the tick going. This box right here, this was like our gap up, gap down box. If we stay above it, I think we're decent for longs. Inside of it's probably going to be, you know, either way, could go either way. Below it, we're probably good for shorts. So far we haven't got accepted inside yesterday's range. We tested inside yesterday's range. We came right to the point of control from the Globex session, right to the 200 SMA, and then bounced. And we're outside of yesterday's range still. So any strength from the NASDAQ here, which has been the laggard, you know, pretty much all week, will just take the market on a rage to the upside. And any move above 95 will probably take us to that 38.15, which is the target here on the upside. Kind of like the tick better on Sierra charts.
If you want me to create a page that just shows those that sector spot on that page, I could do that.
I mean, I've never seen this problem on TOS that doesn't get fixed. The TOS people are pretty on top of it. But I mean, yeah, we might. I mean, if they keep fucking this up, we might need it. I kind of like the tick better on Sierra charts, to be honest with you, though. Look at the weighted AD. It's like it almost wants to go green, and when it goes green, it normally offers an opportunity to get long. We're back above that 74. That's where that original offer was at. And if we look, you know, yeah, there. Too late. Missed it. You can't breathe on Sierra too? Oh, you can see the breath on Sierra too? Well, fucking... Yeah, I've seen JJ have it. I didn't know how he got it, though. Tell us, TJ. Share the secret sauce with us. You know, speaking of secret sauce, I don't know if you guys have had Chick-fil-A sauce, but god damn, it's good. This fucking Jesus juice. It is. I made burgers and fries last night for dinner. With that ketchup and mayonnaise. Get the fuck out of here. I got Chick-fil-A sauce. So good. Buyers are keeping it up here. Watch the 80. Well, we talked about this 81. This is where, yeah, there could be some selling here at 81. This is where some selling last time. They're just not doing a great job pushing it down. If sellers can't get below 76 here, then we'll probably go up and tag that open. Remember, B is still inside A period, so we're still technically in a balance here from the open. Just a gigantic wide balance. What are you thinking now, Jared?
You know,
just don't know. I was getting so pissed. I was like, I swear to God,
wait,
if Jared likes one more fucking comment.
You mean, am I getting ready to short or what?
I know you're not getting ready to short.
Hey, can you throw that tick back on the screen, Brad?
Oh, god damn it.
I got out of my long at 78, and now I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna watch. Oh, I mean, we're up above it. Your upper gray candles there, or your gray little distribution area. I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do here.
The gray areas are my like my buying and selling zones. Those are the zones I like the interaction from the market that I look to get long or short in.
And you think
That's what those gray
So
areas are.
so you think as long as we stay above those gray areas,
I think as long as we stay above 76.5, we're good to sit in this long. I mean, I'm in a long from much lower and added
yeah,
on the dip. But yeah, I mean, really, I think as long as we stay above this orange box, you're probably decent for longs. But if we get below this orange box, that puts us back into yesterday's range. And if we get acceptance below the orange box, then they're going to be targeting value area low.
I'd almost be willing to bet we're gonna stay inside
Stay what?
the whole day.
Say that again.
I would think we would just stay inside, initial balance the whole fucking day. That's a big range.
Yeah, it's a big initial balance, but today has a feeling that it's gonna go up to 38.15. I feel like kind of like my feeling the other day.
Yeah. Never doubt
And this
never
week,
doubt Brad.
like we've talked about yesterday, this week, there's been some great lessons in the market this week that we were able to capture, turning points in the market. And if you get an opportunity really to go back and review the market for educational purposes and look at Monday and Tuesday specifically when we identified the turn in the market. Basically we identified the end of liquidation. That can be a huge key or a huge helper moving forward with okay. I had to check something real quick. Sierra charts like sometimes just tells you that you're fucking down money and you're not, and I was like about to freak out. But it can be a huge help as far as shorting the lows and longing the highs, right? Because you can just kind of inverse the system or whatever it is to kind of see what's going on. But All Stars is getting short. He's like old James, just short the market all the time. Look at the tick. Tick is holding squarely above. Oh, this is on a 1 minute. Is that what this is? Let's change this thing. Chart settings. I'm wondering why it's so fucking crazy. I like to look at the tick on a 5 minute. You're short 4 at 84. Nice. You're up. You're up right now. I guess it would have to be a study, right? So we get selling right there at that 83 and then back at the 81 again. So there's still a seller sitting up there. We're able to pop the open, but getting a little bit of a pullback here. Where is study? Let me know if you find it, TJ. I'm trying to look for it.
The breath.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. For some reason, it never worked on mine. I think because I don't have like market depth or something. But I'm trying to load it real quick, and I can send you the file. Maybe it'll
okay.
pull it up.
Oops. Breath is looking strong here. Watch the pop of the open.
That's what I get for being a bitch. I brought my stop loss up into profit. I was like, hey, this is nice. I'm just gonna bring this up into profit. It's like, nah, we're gonna come get you real quick for being a bitch.
Nice. If B period can get back into the prior pit balance, the chances of getting overlapping to lower value decrease. We may repair the weak structure heading up from that day. That puts us down from here. Down here. Hi, Brad. If you buy Sierra software, you can see the data and trade it on. You need to get anything else? I'm not sure what you're saying, Thomas. And H, I'm not sure what you're saying either. If D period can't get back, it might have been a delayed comment. I'm not sure. Yeah, like B period couldn't get accepted in the lower range. Morning, JB. Weighted ADs flip to the upside. That's what we talked about. When we get a flip, there's a lot of times an opportunity to go with that. Above this 95, it's going to start getting ugly for shorts here. Very ugly. Meat's back on the menu, boys. Lord of the Rings. Has anyone watched that new Lord of the Rings show?
Yeah, I watched it. It's pretty good.
Was it good?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I'll have to check it out. A lot of you guys don't watch like some of the shows that I watch too, like Raising Kanan. Anyone watch that show?
Raising Cannon?
Kanan.
Canaan? No.
Yeah. It's a show that 50 Cent makes. It's fucking awesome. I mean, all the shows that he makes are really fucking good. The Lord of the Rings is the worst shit ever, Thomas says. I gotta watch that other show that you were telling me to watch, Jared, the like the twisted one.
Oh, The Peripheral?
Yeah, the peripheral, yeah.
Dude, that show's legit.
This is not really doing what we want it to do here.
Patience gets you paid, huh?
Always. Come on, 95, just get the fuck out of the way. This guy's just holding on for dear life, just praying to God that we're not going to go up to 38.15, but...
Brad, try the symbol ABR NYSD.
Okay.
200 watt order, huh?
Well, that's why I always laugh at your 35 lots, and I'm like, 35 lots. Weird. Look at these orders.
96, 200.
4.2.
Well, I guess, unless you trap people. When it's in the blue like that, they're hitting the bid, huh?
What's in the blue?
Uh, on your order thing, where it's like, it's on one of your things you set up on your charts. Where
Yeah, the
remember
blue
how
on the
you're,
right side, those are
yeah.
ask trades. The red is bid
Oh,
trades.
okay.
Yeah. So an order that trades on the bid is a sell order. An order that trades on the ask is a buy order.
Buy order, yeah.
Aggressive. If you love Lord of the Rings, then it's a disgrace. Oh yeah, I do love Lord of the Rings. I saw a meme that said, they did a remake of Lord of the Rings, but Legolas had a machine gun. The movie was only 10 minutes long. Anyway, I meant that with my previous question. When you get the monthly subscription for Sierra, you don't need to pay anything else to get data. It just depends if you already have data. If you want to get the Denali data, which is the data that they offer, you can. It depends what package you get. But yeah, it'd be like $33 a month or whatever. Because you don't have to get their data. There's not really any aggressive selling up here. More or less just aggressive short covering. Oh, Jared, were you talking on the time and sales on that chart? Or were you talking on the DOM? Oh, on the time and sales, yeah. So when you see a time and sales order that's highlighted in blue, and I see the one that you're talking about now, it was like the 94.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's an ask trade. If you make that chart wider, there's another column that's hidden, that'll say ask trade or bid trade. I just have it hidden because
you already know.
the color will tell us. Green trades are ask trades, red trades are bid trades, pink trades are aggressive bid trades, green trades are aggressive ask trades, and that blue is just a big, or pink trades are big bid trades. Blue is big ask trades. Highlighted red is aggressive bid trade.
I
Highlighted
just
green
know
is aggressive
there
ask
was a
trade.
191 and a 172. So
Yeah, one of those is me.
getting out.
Getting out. Getting out. Getting out. Classic.
Getting out, he says, huh?
Getting out for what? Trying to do my part. Look at the tick, guys. Just pinned above zero. We haven't seen a negative tick really in, 30 minutes now up at these highs. So there's no point to try to start a fade unless you get a tick that's going to close below zero. A little bit of exhaustion there as buyers are taking profit just below the 3,800 there. And it happens to be the second standard deviation of the VWAP.
The breath is still climbing.
Yeah, have it on that ADR NYSE. It looks like this is the one that you're talking
Find it.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where?
This one right here in this lower.
I don't know. I can't. Let me look at your thing. Here. Hang on. Mine's a bar chart.
No, I just have it online. I
Let-
just have it online. Yeah. I mean, I could change this to candlesticks, I think.
No, but yeah, but mine's not the same as yours.
Okay. Yeah. Because I'm just overlaying. This is just the ratio.
No, but yours is at 70 some. Mine's at 4.7.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mine's the same. Here, we'll do this. Studies. Let's go ahead and remove this. I just had on the ratio, so it's not really giving us reliable information.
I can never get mine and go like yours. You know how you have yours normally where it's just a number and in the corner of the chart?
Yeah.
I can never do that. I have to have a bar chart up.
I just overlay a bunch of shit all the time. Like every once in a while I have to go back and fucking clear off a bunch of charts because I overlay a bunch of stuff onto other charts.
Yeah, I could overlay it, but then how do you overlay it so that it's only a number?
You just go to
You don't have to tell me now.
oh yeah, well you just go to your chart settings and then where it says candlestick bars, you can just take off the candlestick bars and it'll show nothing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out. I just leave it on a bar chart for now anyway. But
That 3,800. It's a nice mechanical level, huh?
Yep. All right, see you next week, All Stars. Sorry, I just saw that. So they fill the single prints.
I sent you a I sent you a link and you can do a pop-up and create so that it'll show sectors if you want.
Where'd you send it? Discord?
Slack.
Oh, Slack. Okay.
So you You'd have to open it and then you have to click the button because it has to open up one without the nav. And then it's pretty small. I mean, you can shrink it to whatever size you need it to be. It doesn't have anything else on there. It will have scroll bars. It would take me longer to get rid of the scroll bars. I mean, there's just a lot of things going on in that page and I had to hide a whole bunch of stuff. But it should be able to get small enough for you to be able to hold it, put it on the screen. It also, it has one additional, which is oil and gas, which isn't part of the sectors, but at the very, yeah, see if you scroll down a little bit, you can click that button. If you click that button, it'll get rid of the nav. It'll make it even smaller. Oh, it does keep it. Oh, I guess that is what it is. All right, well,
Thanks.
no worries.
So that C high is almost right on the Globex high. But buying still looks like it's coming in here. We got some selling or some profit taking right below that 3,800 level. Offers getting trapped right there on the, like on the 92 here. Looks like they're getting stuck here on this 92. So we got like a 4 and 4 breath here. So this is the NASDAQ breath on the bottom. This is the icy breath on the top. Need to get back above 96. Yeah, there's a little offer there on the 96. I mean, their offer's really down here on this 94. That's where they need to hold above, is just this 94. Holding above this 94 is, at 96 will be getting out of 1,000 lots traded 94 quarter right there. Somebody's closing a short. See, tech is trying to go green, healthcare is trying to go green, even energy is trying to go green here. Weighted AD is up. We don't want to see any struggles here. There we go. Right through the singles. Come on, no struggling. No struggling. Don't even fucking start with that shit. Just keep going. Go.
What is your tick? Oh, that tick you had on the 5-minute? Why is it like just stuck like that? Do you have to click on it again to?
Where?
I'm watching on your screen.
On the bottom right?
Your tick, it's below, like it looks like it's on my screen. It looks like it's frozen below 0.
This one right
It's
here?
just, yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's frozen. That's why we're using this tick right here.
Oh, gotcha.
Because the tick's broken. Yeah. The
I left.
Thinkers...
I left for a second. I missed that. I was like,
Thinkorswim's having
the hell?
issues today. Yeah, Thinkorswim's having some fucking. So breath is kind of picking up here at about a 5 and 5 on the NYSE, or 5 on the Nasdaq as well. Not a huge fan of this struggle here. I'd like to see these singles get cleared right away. A little, I mean, I'm giving it a chance here because it's the 3800, but I'm not a huge fan of not filling those singles. Not at all. I know we're getting up to one of the zones, but still about 15 minutes left. Watch the 94 on this move down. We're pretty, I mean, 10 handles off the high here. But for below 94, you could see some liquidation, but as long as we hold it above 94. Where would I put my stop? I mean, that's just like, it just depends on where you got in at. Like, I'm so deep in this long, like, that I could put my stop, like, at the low and probably break even today. Yeah, and that's typically what I'll try to do. Like, so if you get in a trade and you trade in threes, that's how I trade, is in threes most times. If you can hit your first take profit and your second take profit, you know, a lot of times, especially on a day like today, if we fail to get acceptance back inside of initial balance here, and really that 94 is kind of where I'm looking at, but if we fail to get acceptance back inside of initial balance, I really just want to let the contracts ride. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan. I wanted to close those singles right away because that's at least showing us that there's a little bit of pussy longs that are in the market taking profit up there. Um, you know, because I mean, it makes sense because they don't want to hold over the weekend, but failure to get acceptance back inside of initial balance, we go higher. If we get acceptance inside of initial balance, we should trade below 94, and below 94 will cause some liquidation on all of the breakout traders because 94 is where I have the impulse marked at. So if I were to put my stops anywhere, it would probably be like 93 quarter. 93. Did you just call me a pussy? I just hope James wakes up soon. That's all. I haven't got a text from him. Before the market crashes at the close. Yeah, if we get below 94, you'll probably get a liquidation, and that will probably take you back inside, maybe back to the open, and the market will start looking for acceptance back inside Globex range. But still, I still don't think it's a sellable move. Let the tick get below 600 to show any strength of selling. If anything, you'll just get a liquidation here from the weak longs that took breakout trade. Tech coming down here a little bit. I sent a message to Peter Resnicek too about the about all the point of control shifts up here. A lot of volume coming in right around this 94 level. Already seeing some liquidation there just above. Right below that 3,800. May try to get a Nasdaq trying to come back up here. No liquidation there, not yet at least. So that's kind of telling us that maybe these buyers that bought from here earlier are buying again. They took profit early, and they're buying it again there. Liquidation below there. Morning, Dan. Oh, you got your account finally? All right, failure to get continuation below this 38.79 would show weakness. Okay, there's the liquidation. I was gonna say, when's it coming out? Watch 38.79. That's gonna be the level above. Don't be short above 38.79, 37.89. I mean, Lexia's kicking in. 37.89. Nasdaq got smacked down pretty hard right there. Look at the breadth on the Nasdaq, dropped all the way to 3 here. ES breadth is not too bad, or NYSE breadth is not too bad. Apple's pushing lower. Yeah, it's kind of like a buyer's shut off situation. I mean, this thing just kind of giving up here. The last 30 minutes, we've basically just given everything up.
That was so nice. I caught a 12-point move right there. With 1 lot.
12 points on 1 lot is great.
Yeah, that was nice.
You don't need you don't need size to make it in the market. You just
No.
really more.
There's a lot of there's a lot of time in the market. You know what I mean? Like you can catch a 5-point move here, 5-point move here, wait an hour, 5-point move. Like if you just do that like 3-4 times, like you did good enough for the day, and you only got to catch a few of them. It's the addictiveness of hitting those runners because everybody loves it when you do that. Whenever everybody's done it, where you put on a little size, and all of a sudden it just goes your way, and you're like, "Holy shit, man! That was $2,000. That was easy." Then you try it again 8 other times, and it doesn't work.
Nope, never done that.
No, oh, I've done it. Oh, I've done it.
I mean, 35 lots to make $2,000 is like fucking 3 points.
Yeah, it's nothing.
Yeah.
But that's the issue. If it goes the wrong way, I mean,
Oh yeah.
freaking.
Well, that's when you get into the fucking 1,000 reset club. They mail you a plaque. Getting a little bit of buying here above the open.
I got a thank you card from the Apex CEO, and he was
A Christmas
on his
card.
yeah, he was on his yacht, and he's like, "Keep up the good work."
I'm coming to dark side. I got my Apex account.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm fucking down with crypto
Crypto?
for now. Yeah, pissing me off. I've been arguing with Bybit support, which is just a joke. Because it's you have to be Milton Friedman to figure out your profit and loss on that shit, especially with Bitcoin. Because oh shit, are you still there?
Yeah.
Here's why I started trading ETH, because at least with ETH I can conceptualize what if it's trades at 0.5 ETH. Okay, well ETH's 1,500, but on Bitcoin, 0.0012 of 20,000. What is that? And so I noticed that I've been writing my trades down. I noticed that one of the trades last week there was in profit was in red on Bybit, but the way they do it, there's 3 separate pages to figure out. There's one page for your trade history, one page for your P&L, one trade for, or one page for, whatever. And yeah, they literally couldn't tell me. They want to start a case to tell me how much I made on this one particular trade. It's like, because the way they do it, they put down the Bitcoin, but you don't know how much Bitcoin was at that time. So was it a fee at when Bitcoin was 18,500, or was it later when it was 22,600 or 2,600, whatever? It's like ridiculous, and I don't know. But and I had a trade last night blow right through my stop, and you know, and they're like, "Oh, it was my internet." Really, my internet caused you the trade to blow through a site. I have many screenshots to show it.
There's an offer
And
chasing the price down right here. It was just right above the open and it just moved down and now it's right at price here. So 84.75. So someone's chasing this thing down. I don't know if it's a seller or not. If we get back above the open, probably decent long forming there. Sorry, Kevin.
that's okay. But I'm gonna need your help setting up this Ninja Trader later. But yeah, it's just you know, and the other thing they do, which is really weird, is that they you know, your P&L, they don't freeze Bitcoin history. So I made like in 2021, I made like 30 grand in Bitcoin trade on Bybit, and then this year I'm like 10 grand because I don't trade like a degen after I started following you. And but it literally says that I'm negative like $10,000 and it's like, well, how's that? Well, that's because when I was making the money, Bitcoin was between 45 and 60,000, and now that it's only 20,000, so $40,000 loss there. Even though I didn't have that money on Bybit, you know what I mean? It's just that that's the value of the big. It's like, how does that make any sense? I didn't physically lose that money on your. I don't know. It's weird.
I think it's how they have to track it now. Isn't that what the US government said, that you have to
Sorry
pay
for
on
the rant.
unrealized gains?
I don't know. It's a weirdest thing. Well, hopefully, because now it shows a loss, which is good, you know. But it's just a weird thing.
All right,
So
JB,
so if
have
you
a
have
good
a
day or good weekend.
So if you have a negative balance on, you know, that you've lost money on Bybit and then Bitcoin goes down even more, it looks like you've lost a lot more. You know, so then I'm thinking, well, did I really make 30,000? Because maybe Bitcoin just went up and I didn't, even though I didn't have the Bitcoin on there. It's like, I don't know, it's just weird to me.
Hmm.
It's like I wish there was some machine that could figure it out for me, you know, like
Yeah, it's like a, I mean, you've got to be an accountant really with that kind of stuff to really make sure you're not getting fucked over. And the thing
oh,
is like they fuck over people constantly.
oh,
So
you want to figure out the profit on like a ETH Bybit pair? Yeah, you better break out your calculus because you ain't figuring that shit out at all. Terrible. Oh,
watch a
hey,
break
Brad,
above the open here.
you took your dog with you when you moved, right?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't have a dog in California.
I thought you had some great big dog.
No, that's my in-laws' dog.
Oh,
Yeah, they got a gigantic German Shepherd wolf.
uh,
Yeah, I mean, he's here. Nice pop of the open here. Where's that fucking offer at? Elo, not, I wouldn't call it mechanical, it's right below the open. 90. That fuck. 90. I have 94 written down, but I didn't write down the break. What was I? What number was I saying? Fuck, I can't. I'll just look for 98 half.
I think that was it. I think it was 98.5.
hey, can you check out either? Sorry if you have. I missed your whole stream today dealing with Bybit. Oh,
I mean, yeah, right to the 200 SMA. Held the 1506, didn't get downside like the rest of the market, and then boom, right to that 200 SMA. So the next level up, if it's able to hold, I mean, you're seeing selling right off, or probably profit taking is what it looks like. Is at 1717. That's the next VPOC that hasn't been touched, and then the break of that balance puts us back into this zone up here, which is a gigantic zone from 2170 to 1900. But this is where, you know, we get a lot of selling action probably coming in. But before that, really, I don't really see, you know, maybe if they hold the 200 and the 1717 below, maybe there's something in there. But other than that, I think you're probably can get up to 1900. Retest at the top of this balance, which is like 1600, 1599.
That would be insane.
Really, it would kind of make sense. He's really been behaving well. I mean, like it just traded like, you know, almost perfect. Came right back to this level here and then bounced back up. Yeah, maybe maybe look for a pullback to like 1613, 1600 level if there's a pullback off of this 200 SMA. But acceptance above that level should take us to 1717. Acceptance above 1717 should probably go to 1900. The squeezes in crypto are, you know, they're just phenomenal. And I know a lot of people are putting some pressure on Dogecoin.
Well, it just became deflationary too. ETH did. So I think that's a big push up.
The market just trying to stay above the TJ50 here, kind of balancing on the high, kind of retesting this lower box here as well. Back to the open here. They trapped a couple shorts below the open and then ran them off, but didn't get any more buying support there above the open. And we're kind of just right at that Globex high. This is a key spot right here, this M95. Yeah, in my bank account.
Hey there, Brad.
Yeah.
You got your heater rocking over there?
Yeah, why?
Oh, dude, I bet it's cold over there because I'm freezing my tits off over here in Vegas.
Oh no, it's warm. It's warm here. I just have my heater.
What?
I have my heater on, because I'm in the downstairs. I normally run my heater until like till like now, I guess, till like 11, and then I turn it off. It's cold in the mornings, but it's supposed to be like 75 this weekend, and 75 here in Pennsylvania is a lot warmer than 75 on the West Coast.
Humidity,
Yeah.
definitely more humid on the East Coast. And in Texas for that matter.
But Vegas gets cold because it's the desert. So anytime there's like a wind, you know, you get that fucking, like, it's like living in El Paso. El Paso would be like 100 degrees during the day, 36 degrees at night. It's like, what the fuck? Like, you go out to the bar 9 o'clock You better bring a fucking winter coat because by the time midnight hits, it's gonna be freezing cold outside.
Yeah, it's cold here, man. Oof. Ain't nothing worse than trying to trade with cold hands, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's why I always crack the heater on first thing in the morning. And I have a stove heater, like a gas heater. So you could just stand like right next to it and just put your hands there. Warms you right up. Like a fire on the inside of the house.
Yeah, catch a bounce off point of control, maybe. Or not.
Wait a second. Were you looking for the upside? Is that what I just heard?
What?
Were you looking for the upside?
I'm looking at both sides, man.
So basically you go either way is what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, hey. What kind of fucking shit are you talking about?
Yeah, I saw that liquor. Like people in Europe were like taking out loans for energy bills and shit. It's crazy.
No, I do look for both sides though. Like I caught a long and then I caught some nice shorts right there. But now I think because I got out of my shorts, my brain naturally is like ready to look for a long. You know what I mean? But I'm good with either. I just want to see what it does here.
As long as you don't have to inform us when your shorts fill. That's, I
No,
don't
I
want to know
should
about,
tell.
I
I
don't want to
should.
know about you filling your shorts. That's all I'm saying.
I uh I should tell you what I'm gonna trade. Then you're like, go on.
So we're pulling back to the peak of the impulse from the non-farm payroll report this morning, which is like 70. What was that? It was like 74. We're starting to look a lot like yesterday with the range extension to the upside, then a pullback here. So we'll see, just how far this pullback goes. But um, we're paying attention really here to the acceptance back inside of initial balance is not the greatest look for the market here. And if they get a push down below this 37.66 and below our kind of gap on gap, that could really turn the market bearish, and you could start to see some big downside. Getting a negative tick here, uh, We've got our first close in the negative here, and now we're starting to see some negative here. All right, below 600 there. See if we can get a little 1,000 action. Nice pop off that 74 there. Let's see if the bids keep moving up here. Oh, the bid moved out of the way. There was a bid on 77.50, but it kind of moved out of the way. Looks like it might have jumped to get filled here, but I can't tell. The 74. This is where that bid was at originally. All right, Toby, have a good weekend. Breath is coming down here a little bit. The tick not really doing much. Getting a little bit of downside here on the tick, but no follow through yet.
Yeah, it will.
I want to see that tick get smacked down negative 1,000.
I know you've kind of told me this too, Brad, but this is the way I'm starting to look at things. Is like sometimes I'll see like big moves up, and I'm like, oh, we might be going up. You know, there's some buyers here, but it's like if we've been going down for a little while now, so it's like if buyers were going to show up, why would they show up here? You know what I mean? You start to like go back and look at different references, and you're like, well, why would they be? You know, where are the buyers going to show up? You know, and you start to look for levels as to where they would show up, not just because it looks like it.
Right.
And that's what I'm trying to work harder on.
Yeah, and that comes with like putting like, making your levels.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that you should be doing every morning before you start trading. Part of the trade plan.
Because sometimes you'll see like, you know, big rips up and, you know, just in the tick, you know, it'll be like 5 minute candle or something, and all of a sudden it'll just really bounce up, and you're like, oh, okay, there's some buyers here, you know. You don't know. People might have just been getting out, you know, or whatever.
Right.
It's like, just take your time, say, hey, where would they buy?
All right, sellers just got stuck on 75.
Dang, I just closed my loan.
Where'd you get long 74, TJ?
I got long a little late, but I was trying to anticipate a turn right there. I got in at 75.
Oh.
I was looking for it to at least go to the 13, which is at the 78, but you know, took a few 1 minute candles and I didn't want to be trying to guess the bottom. So I just got out at a point.
Eventually, one of these days, you're going to start trusting yourself. You've been, I mean,
Yeah,
your identification, I'm telling you, like it's very good. Your entries are normally like, if you go back and look at your entries, they're I mean, most of the time spot on. It's just the execution is the part that gets you. And I mean, I'm not saying to change, because that's just going to come with time. You got to remember, you haven't been doing this for very long, so it's going to come with time. But like, you know, you've got an eye for entries for sure. What I would say is start to try to work on more or less looking to just get a scratch trade on, as far as like, you get in, it gets in a profit, you know, just go back. I mean, yeah, it sucks to how can we say this, like if you have a target for, you said the 13 was at 85,
78.
78. Oh yeah, so it went right up to there. And so if you have a point where you're willing to just accept a scratch unless it gets like 3 points up. If it gets 3 points up, then you start to tighten your stop real tight. But if it doesn't go that 3 points, then you're fine with if it comes back and hits you at break even, then that's fine. Something like that. Because I do that. That's something that I do a lot of times. I'll get into a trade, it gets up right away, and instead of just being like, okay, I'm just take profit here, I just move my stop up to break even, or right below break even, or right below where the volume came in, and then let it ride, and then start to trail it up once it gets up like X amount. And you could use the ATR, like today we're at 4.5 ATR, 4.25 ATR, so you figure every 1 minute period is about 4 points. You know, use a piece of that information to help you with when you should be tightening your stop and not. But I mean, it's really obvious to see the improvement in your trading over, you know, like the past, I mean, just the past like couple of months, honestly, but even longer than that.
Yeah, sometimes I wish I would just like leave my stop where I'm anticipating it, and then just if it hits me, it hits me. But yeah, I don't know. Market conditions change. You know, sometimes you're like, geez, I got to be taking them quick today, and the other times you're like, geez, I need to be letting them ride today. So.
Right. Yeah.
And then, you know, when you start getting close to, or like you feel like you're getting close to like qualifying the account or whatever, you start like you almost start playing it too safe, you know.
Mm-hmm.
you're like, oh, I don't need to let this go against me. I don't want to take a loss, or I don't want to whatever. And I don't like moving my stop to break even, because wherever I get in at is normally right above the failure zone. So it's going to chop normally. If I don't get in, like normally I'm getting in like right on the impulse where it's going up. But, sometimes it's on that spot where it's going to chop back and forth over this point for a second. But as long as it doesn't break my stop, then it's going my direction, kind of thing. So yeah, I don't know. I definitely need to start trusting my plan for sure. Okay, that might have something to do with it too.
Yeah. A break of 80 here probably takes us back to the open. That D low is right off of the half back, which gives buyers a decent chance that missed the initial rally to buy back in. So although that D low is mechanical, being right off the half back, failure to revisit it shouldn't be as technical as like a previous period to a half back, like we would normally say, like a weak reference. It's not necessarily a weak reference on a pullback to half back. That would be where patient, responsive intraday buyers are buying, basically. Jared's short from 74 here, so about to
Just shorted the 78.
about to take his lunch money here if it pops the 80. Nasdaq looking strong here.
I almost got back in on that peak below and come back over. Put in a bullish divergence right there. That big candle that flushed.
A good practice, and you can do it on the sim. That would be the best way to practice. But practice getting in a trade and getting out of the trade right where you got in at. Like, it takes practice, but like if you can, like, let's say you miss the buy at 74, right? Maybe it comes back down, maybe it doesn't. But now if we get above 80, we can run. So I want to get in at 80 and go up. You practice here getting in at the 80, and if it doesn't go right away, getting out. And it takes that muscle memory, and it'll take that time. Like, okay, well, it's just not going. Hang on 1 second. Hello? Hi. No, just get cash. Okay, yeah, just get. Okay. All right. Love you too. Bye. So basically, we're waiting for this 80 to get popped. If you see it pop, you get in, boom, you get in. And it doesn't go up right away. Even if it just goes up right away and you start to see it turn, just flatten. Right? And get used to that that muscle memory of getting in and getting out, getting in and getting out, getting in and getting out. Because what happens a lot of times is like, we're like, oh, it's going to pop the 80. We pop the 80 and it goes up a little bit and we're like, all right, cool. And then it comes back down and we're like, fuck, now we're in a negative trade. And we're like, shit, we shouldn't have got in right there. That was a bad entry. Well, not necessarily a bad entry. It's bad execution, right? You can get in right here on this break above, but if we don't see continuation right away, then we've just got to bail on that. Right, and you lose a tick, you lose 2 ticks, you lose a point, whatever, that happens. That's part of trading. But you can practice it on the sim and get good at that, and that can help you get it back into some of those positions, or some of those opportunities. Hey, Tommy, what's up, man?
Pop the 80, he says.
I said if it pops the 80.
I
What the
know,
hell
I
just
know.
happened? I got into
Yeah,
a short. I got into a short a bit ago and I didn't, I mean, then all of a sudden I was kind of taking a little bit of heat, but then all of a sudden, what was that? What was that drop? Was that just liquidation?
Yeah, like it was liquidation right above the VWAP is what it looked like.
That's crazy. I didn't expect to drop that. I mean, I was in, profit,
Time to realize.
like a tick and a half. And then all of a sudden I'm like 10 ticks up right now.
No, and I looked away for like 2 seconds and looked back.
I
after
just
it-
want to text James and be like, hey James, look at the market.
I
Well,
guess I'm 13 points up.
we're back into this go no zone level or go no go level here. You're seeing all the sectors have flipped red here. Financials barely green, materials barely green, right? Materials doesn't even really matter. IT sector getting punished here. 1.36. Apple's still getting a smackarooski. Nasdaq really catching some downside here. I don't know, not too crazy.
Remember you said I was short in the 74, Brad? I wish I was.
Look at the video I just sent you, Jared.
Okay.
I wasn't even looking at the fucking market. Look at this. For me, I have a hotkey for flattening. For some reason, it's easier flattening with a key. Yeah, so do I.
Oh, that's so dope. I seen a video like this the other day.
Yeah, those are the pistols I was talking about. They're fully automatic.
You know how long it would probably take to get those?
Worth it. All right, back inside previous day's range. We're back below this box. So acceptance below this box would take us all the way down to that 31.50, 27.75. Now we're going to be opening up on some Brad prints here, E period, and we're one time framing down now.
I'm kind of reluctant to get out of my trade. Holy crap, it's doing great.
This negative
Don't do it.
1,000 tick is really kind of throwing for a loop here. Oversold look for sellers getting negative 1,000 tick, and we're not below the low here. So like I said, this zone is shorts below, longs above. I still think that's the case here. Not that there's not opportunity on both sides, obviously. There's decent shorts from the high, but A lot of people getting in trouble for anti-Semitic comments lately. Kyrie Irving just got suspended from the NBA for 5 games for it.
Damn.
Yeah. Kanye, that's what Kanye got dropped for. Even though Kanye says he is a Jew.
Brad, so a second ago you said since it was hitting negative 1,000, it was an oversold.
Right.
Is that what the 1,000-point measures? Is that it could be overbought or oversold?
That's just like kind of the consensus, basically.
Okay.
Like, so basically, like, it means like there's strong selling or strong buying, right? So if we're getting strong selling and that's below 1,000, that means 1,000 issues are going down at the same time. So there's a lot of selling in the market, but yet the market's not making a new low, right? So a lot of times when you get that 1,000 look, when the market's either, if it's making a negative 1,000 and the market's not making a new low, you want to be cautious of getting short there, right? Cautious of a breakout short. Whereas the same thing, if it's making 1,000 on the high and the market's not making a new high, then you want to be cautious of taking a breakout long from there as well.
Well, yeah, I added the chart onto my Sierra charts, the tick, so I'm gonna start just watching it, see how it reacts. But
yeah,
I was just looking back at like the last tick that was positive 1,000, and how it looked like it lines up with my bearish divergence and like short signals on the high. So I was just curious. If that,
yeah.
When I heard you say that, I was like, oh snap, maybe that's something else I can watch.
Yeah, like a little bit more confluence there. Looks like our stuff is back here. Let's see here.
It's a trap. Don't do it.
One day we'll start seeing.
You could turn the breath back on, see if it matches up.
Yeah, that's one.
The breath on trading you says like 4-1.
Yep.
Nice.
We're in business.
Finally can trade for real.
Yeah, exactly. It's weird that like you see the toss breath is different than the excuse me, the Sierra charts breath.
Yeah, so is the tick usually. Tick don't line up either.
Yeah. I feel like I
That means that
trust toss more.
orders from different brokerages are probably coming in at different rates, and they just have they're seeing different orders happening at different times, or they're getting the data for them. I should say the orders are happening at the time that they're happening. But
Yeah, I would trust Sierra over Toss.
Yeah.
I mean, they're close anyway. Usually the tick's close.
And that move right there on the 1 minute where it just liquidates, it's happened like 3 times in a row. Where you balance, flush, balance, flush.
Yeah, so now let's look for acceptance back inside yesterday's value. Acceptance back inside yesterday's value below this range could really start to put some pressure on the market. We opened up with like a 14 breath, a positive breath. So there's, I've been pretty far below that now. Started recording your own trades and analyzing for the session. I think I'm going from that. I think you will. Yeah. I think you will. I need to start doing that once the stream's over because I can't record my other screen at the same time as this screen. But once I take trades streaming, I need to start recording them. Strong reaction there.
I've seen that move about 4 times on this down move. Look at that range, though.
Yeah, big range there.
That is just crazy.
So 70 points.
That's when you can be certain that manipulation is happening because it just wouldn't travel like that if it wasn't. Somebody's doing something.
Yeah, they're rebalancing. All these shorts that got stuck are, you know, rebalancing on their move. And that fail to fill these single prints was the key there. I should have listened to my own advice. I really wanted to see those fill right away, but didn't.
Damn. Nice levels. You're fucking spot on.
It's no 3905, but I'll take it.
It's 38.05 today.
Yeah, but I was looking for 38.15 today.
You know what, Brad? It might still happen for you.
Where'd it get to? How far did it, how close did it get?
Close enough.
Almost 3,800, right?
Yeah, 38.06 was the high.
Oh, it did go up past 3,800. That's right.
Yeah. Seen some selling down here.
Yeah, that was me. I just got out.
Are we still above the open, Brad?
No.
I'm just kidding.
What's the reference for that?
Oh, just what you and James were talking about yesterday.
We're above yesterday's close. I mean, we already accomplished what I wanted to accomplish.
Yeah.
Brad might not be right all the time, but he's never wrong.
Wonder if they'll defend this A low.
Like their fucking life depends on it.
You've got a lot of confluence down here, so we'll see. I mean, the real if it doesn't hold this 20 SMA, I wouldn't be surprised to see liquidation back down into the excess down here.
Man, right off the overnight point of control. Huh?
Yeah.
Why's mine not right there? Oh, I didn't split the freaking. My stuff was jacked up this morning. I forgot to separate the in and the O.
Can you add the tick to the bottom of one of your charts on the
On Sierra?
down Sierra?
Something I Googled a while ago definitely made it look like that was possible.
Yeah, I think you need to just use study price overlay, I think. And put it in chart region too.
There you go. Let me try that.
Get it, TJ?
I'm gonna try. I just put the study price overlay on. No, study to overlay. Pick the chart. Chart number 10.
Think we're gonna
it's
take
working.
out that low, Brad?
Trying to get boss signals, Jared. See, it definitely put it on here. It definitely don't look the same.
Yeah, like I said, that below this orange box, I like the shorts. Above the orange box, I like the longs. There's opportunity for responsive longs down here, but you don't want to be, you don't want to be just getting super aggressive for no reason.
Think they're gonna give everybody the fake out right here, then it's gonna come ripping down. Just my 2 cents. Like, oh yeah, maybe we did catch a bottom. Oh, look at it. Oh, we're going up, and then woof.
So where do you see the bottom, Jared?
Hmm.
Just
I
like-
don't
Gonna
know.
blow past the A low.
I think, yeah, I think we'll go past the ALO.
$37.26.
Is that the low? Is that the value area low?
It's top of gap, right?
That's the close of yesterday.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's correlation. Starting to get a little stuff coming here. Getting some bullish signals here off this previous point of control. Previous day.
Start buying just to prove Jared wrong.
If we all
For
max
every-
our
That ain't no guess, Brad, because I'm
For
trying
every-
to.
For every dollar Brad makes in this trade, he's gonna buy a sign that says Jared sucks.
I think we could see 37.14 quarter. I can see that.
I mean, so the move down this morning. So if we look at this Globex, and this is something that we were talking about pre-market here, when the jobs report came out, the market went like this. It opened up. You got W period open up. It popped up just a little bit, and then just like gapped. There was like nothing in here. It gapped down to this low, and then popped right back up to the settle. Hesitated at the settle, popped back up to this 38, and then that's when it started to really start to move up there. And so that's you kind of have these two areas right where this 50 SMA is, or 20 SMA on the daily is at, and then that 27.75. If it doesn't hold either of those levels, I think that you would probably trade back down to the excess of yesterday.
You were saying, Stacy? I'm just kidding.
I was just saying he said he was gonna buy longs just to prove you wrong.
think we should just let our P&Ls do the talking, fellas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's cool with
fuck
me.
you. What kind of shit is that? Who drew up these rules?
That's something I really don't base performance off P&L, to be honest.
Mm-mm.
Jared used to.
I think
I've had
it's-
great P&L before and traded like shit, so
I think it's more based on your loss against your profit. So how much loss did you take, or how much heat did you take based on how much you actually
sharp ratio.
Yeah, but
Yeah, that's
the Sharpe ratio is not calculated properly. You'd have to calculate it yourself, because the calculation that like NinjaTrader gives you for Sharpe ratio, even Sierra Chart Sharpe ratio, the calculation is not articulated correctly. Because I've done the math myself on my algo through Excel, and the performance that I get from NinjaTrader is not accurate. Because sometimes, like, I've seen some of the trades on there take like 10 points of heat and make like 4 points, and yet gives me a great Sharpe ratio and no drawdown. And it's like, well, that's just because the trade didn't close out negative.
I have a category on mine that says like when you look at the trades, the trade by trade, it shows like the most heat you're in
On Sierra Charts, right?
per trade. Yeah, Sierra charts.
Yeah, Sierra Charts does a better job for sure. Sierra Charts just does a better job at pretty much everything.
Yeah, I think that's a good gauge, because if you can see how much heat you took, then it shows how your entries are more, well, just better, plain and simple.
So look below that 20 SMA there, and then a pop back up. That 20 SMA is actually moved 4. Most money wins. Nobody cares how you won. Yeah, no, that's true. Nobody on the internet cares. I just want to see that you made $10,000 every. And they want to see that you made it in an hour, not in fucking day. They want to see it quick. It was made too.
Most of those people are just paper trading anyway.
Yeah.
And they're like, look it, I made fucking $26,000 on this trade. Try to get a bunch of likes.
So we're back below initial balance here now. Elo right to the previous day's half back. And this is what's important about, having these zones on your chart, right? Having these flip zones like we do with this orange box, right? Letting you know, like, okay, I don't want to be taking any longs below this box, because I'm just doing myself a disservice, or fighting the trend, right? And oftentimes, like, if you look back at your trading report and you see the days that you fought trend, those are probably some of the worst days,
Won't even bounce to let you in, get you in short, right?
Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
Damn. Look at that.
Well, this is kind of the last spot that we can expect. This was kind of the impulse area for buyers off the non-farms this morning. But below that, I think we keep going and test that lower excess.
Second deviations at the 25.
I'm looking at 14 quarter. Where do you have X, Brad?
What's that?
I'm looking at 14 quarter. Where do you say the excess is?
Excess is like 37.04.
Okay,
Yesterday's low.
I see your time.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Yep.
Well, there's a bounce, huh?
Yeah, I had a lot of confluence right there at the 25. M low last of yesterday. Second deviation. Probably people just taking profit until it gets tested a second time. See. The 13 sitting at the 37 quarter.
Damn. Stacy called it. The 26. But it's at the bottom.
That was me.
Is it Lincoln?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Good call. My bad, Lincoln.
Lincoln's like, who the fuck you think you're giving that credit to, boy?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, absolutely that.
It's Friday, mate. Send that my way.
Remember, don't worry about being right in trading. That's just a byproduct of hard work and preparation.
I think there's an old adage that says, the harder I work, the luckier I get.
Yeah.
I had to stop worrying about being right because then it gets harder to cut losers and like it can affect that whole other side.
Yeah. Big time. That's one of Jared's issues that he's working through.
Me too.
My buddy
I'm working through that.
My buddy has a saying. He says, nothing bad happens on the couch. Every time I'm doing something, or if I get hurt or something, doing something, he's like, I told you, bud, nothing bad happens when you're on the couch. He's a lazy fucker.
Nothing immediately happens. That's like working out. You know, you don't notice all the problems you have till you've been sitting on that couch for 6 months.
Yeah, what's that 10,000 pound man?
Yeah, you
Some fucking issues.
throw your fucking back out.
Yeah.
I say that it's like a fight. When you get in a fight, better to throw the first punch and know where you stand as opposed to wait till you get hit and you're fucking dazed and trying to swing at something.
Yeah, definitely. Same thing my father always taught me. Always throw the first punch. The opposite of what everybody else.
No, it's always throw the first punch if you're sure you're getting into a fight.
No, no, my father was he was sure he was getting in a fight no matter what.
Well, then he did the right
was
thing.
brutal.
If you throw the first punch and you know you're going to get in a fight, then you did the right thing.
Oh yeah.
He was getting
Yeah,
into a
he-
fight because he was starting it.
Oh, he was. No, you know what? I don't know if he wouldn't start a fight, but it would take barely anything. You know, he's actually a great guy, but very short. Like you just didn't take no shit. No, he didn't argue. Put it that way. He wasn't gonna argue.
Man,
Plus Vietnam. That was Vietnam. All the combat. He had he was just aggressive.
that's funny talking about knowing where you stand. I have one of my dad's workers that works for him. He was telling us a story one time. He was at a bar and he said the guy was like 280 pounds. He was a big old guy. And he said they kind of squared up and he says, "You ready?" The guy says, "Yeah, bring it on." He's like, "I hit this dude." He's like, "I caught back. I hit him with every single thing I had." He goes, and you should have seen the smile on his face. He goes, "Right then and there, I knew I was about to get the ass beating of a lifetime." That was one of the funniest stories ever.
I've seen James get hit and smile before. We got in a fight in Korea one time and somebody smoked him and he just smirked. Like, you're about to get kicked.
You're about to get...
Because James is a kicker.
Oh, yeah.
So we got single prints to the downside now. So liquidation, big time from the low. Watch to see if these can fill. If these can fill, that would kind of, it would kind of make you a little bit nervous about this short here. Especially with that poor low not getting fixed.
Wow, we're going up.
You get short covering there, right at the settle. Offers trying to come in on the 30. More short covering should come in above the 35. That should take us back to the A low. We've got a tighter downtrend and then an intermediate downtrend a lot higher up towards the top of value. The break of this downtrend probably brings in a little bit of short covering, and that's at around that 35 level. They're still offering the 30 here though, so definitely have to hold above the 30 first. And we're missing tick data here, so don't be missing weighted AD data as well. So it's not like every tick has been below 0, but every tick since this thing started working again has been below 0.
And see you later.
So failure to hold that 2775, they'll be targeting this Globex low. There was a lot of rotations in this area, even during yesterday's profile, this A and B, which is why we have this gray zone here. A lot of rotations here in Globex as well, but not really strength at all. Offers moving down here to the 21. More liquidation. The FBI has issued a warning after it received credible information of a broad threat to synagogues in New Jersey, according to a tweet from the FBI.
Yeah, I saw a video this morning of China in Wuhan with all the Chinese people just smashing up all the COVID testing sites.
They're done
Like
with
pulling
being
all the
locked down.
tents down, kicking it. Yeah. I saw it this morning. I don't blame them, mate.
Yeah, they're just locked.
When you can
There's-
see everyone else when they're all getting on with it and it's kind of past and it's not even a thing, and then they're all still stuck in their houses, they must be like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, they don't tell you is the FBI put the threat out.
Yeah, and then the
Foxconn, that's where Apple was, right? Apple's based in China, where they've been making all of their
Yeah,
the
Foxconn
phones and
is-
stuff, Foxconn,
they're-
and they trap them in there and stuff. There's all like nets hanging
Yeah,
outside the building
suicide
where they've all
nets.
been jumping out and stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
And
they've been trying to
yesterday,
commit suicide.
yeah, yesterday they Foxconn's technology group main plant fleeing the facility on major roads after the Chinese government ordered a 7-day lockdown of the facility due to COVID.
They locked down Disney World and stuff and locked everybody in there, made everybody test. It's like 30,000 people.
Yeah, the Foxconn facility is one of the primary iPhone manufacturing plants in China. It's crazy. what's
That
going
makes,
on
that
over
makes
there,
sense
man.
why
They
Apple
wanted them to
fell
stay
out.
in the plant for 7 days.
Well, they live
But,
there. It's a city.
Oh,
It's-
they live there, right? Got you.
It's like a city of 700,000 people. It's
What was that,
crazy.
Peter? What was that?
It just makes sense why Apple crashed today. You know, if their factory shut down. You look at Apple today, it just fell out of the sky.
Well, it was doing pretty crappy yesterday, so
Yeah, well, I know they had the shutdown, what was that, 2 days ago they announced it, but you know, if they're rioting over there, it makes more sense too, that it keeps going.
oh, yeah.
You know, down here, it's like we still have to wear masks on airplanes. It's driving me crazy.
Where are you at?
Colombia.
Oh, wow.
It's like nowhere else, but you go to the airport, it's like the minute you know, you can walk through the airport with no mask, but right when you get on the plane, you have to wear the mask. It's what the fuck's the point of this shit?
You know, it's funny
thing.
in Pennsylvania, like, as I went into the doctors the other day for bronchitis, and they're like, you want to get a COVID test? And I'm like, no. They're like, all right.
Yeah, no, it's like, no, I do not want to take that thing. Unless I feel sick, I do not want to be getting jabbed for anything.
Yeah, they were just like, all right, that's cool.
Dude, I remember when I
Get
got my
up
appendix
your
taken
nose.
out, Brad, during it was was that last year or something? And man, they were all pissed off that I didn't want the COVID test. They wanted to do the one where they like shove it up your nose, and I was like, no,
Yeah.
I'm good. And they were freaking pissed that they're like, oh, okay. Dude, they like quarantined my house. They're like, oh
The
yeah,
problem
your
is you
wife
get on a
she can't
list.
see you. Yeah, they're like, your wife, she can't see you anymore. And then everybody who came in had to be wearing like a bunny suit, so they were all pissed off that I
Oh, yeah,
wouldn't
the pepper.
test.
Yeah.
Yeah. Saying no, it's bullshit.
Well, the
Yeah,
Chinese
the guy that-
government they reelected that guy for his third term, and they basically like solidified their, communist alliance, basically. Remember,
know, but
a break of this trend take us back up to this 35, and if it gets above that 35, that's where the seller is sitting here.
Yeah, they just they elected a left-wing president down here, and they just put the tax, like his new tax law in, and they are taking money out of Colombia like it's nobody's business. I was looking at something that there's a building in Miami, $500,000 condos, 50% from international buyers from Colombia right now.
Damn.
Are you living there, or
Yeah, I've been here for 6 years.
how you like it?
It's I'm not going back.
Especially not while the dollar's up.
No, I mean, when I moved down here, the dollar, a peso was 2,800. Today it's at 5,100.
Wow.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So I just bought a 70-inch screen, 70-inch TV installed for $600.
Nice.
It's about what it is down here.
Yeah, but they were 1,000 just like 2 weeks ago compared to the rate.
Wow.
So watch the 35 level. 35 level, if it doesn't get reoffered, they'll probably close the singles. And then you kind of get into that spot where you've got to be patient and look to see if they get acceptance back inside value, yesterday's value. What they really need to do if they want to keep this price down is we need to start building value down here. We've got still 20 minutes until G period opens up. So they'd like to hold these singles, but if they fail to close these singles, that would give us 4 TPOs here. If G period, if they close the singles and then G period opens up here, that would give us 4 TPOs here, and we have 4 TPOs here. So we're seeing value kind of shift down. The only thing that could really change our minds and really kind of secure us in this long here would be break above our flip zone here.
I'm done, guys. You guys have a good weekend.
All right, you too, man. I need to go get a haircut.
I was gonna say I'm gonna call it right here too.
I gotta let this one. Guess I could close my eyes.
You going for a long game, Brad?
I'm in a long, yeah.
Nice.
Me too. Where are you targeting? Oh wow, you're targeting way up there.
38.15.
You're so full of shit. Where are you targeting?
That's what I'm targeting. 38.15. I think this fucking download is bullshit.
But then, okay, so are you have a trailing stop with what, like 9 points on it or something?
So
yeah, his finger.
so, I mean, I'm really just looking at this 35, the interaction up here. If it doesn't like break the 35 and get a reoffer, I'll just close it. But, you know, I just don't believe it.
Believe it or not.
What movie is that?
Oh, dude, I just had a flashback. Hang it, it'll come to me.
What did you just say? Was that English?
No, I'm trying to think of what movie that is. He's like, believe it or not, you're still gonna die.
Yeah,
or
believe
something
it
like-
or not, you're still gonna die. Yeah.
Or you're still gonna burn, or
You're still
something.
gonna burn.
I can't.
Oh, it's Matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's like was it Dozer?
Dozer,
Or
yeah, Dozer.
yeah.
Yeah. Like, believe it or not, you're still gonna burn when he burns Cypher. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I don't believe it.
Little offer there on the 32. Not really little, decent offer on the 32.
Yeah, I'm gonna go make me some coffee though. Good luck, Brad.
I don't need luck, Jared.
So you're saying go 30 watts long right here.
Sure.
He is.
Hell no.
What are you waiting for?
Hell no. What?
I said he is. What are you waiting for?
Dude, and this motherfucker is
You're about
never
15
wrong.
points too late.
Yeah, I got long at 21 quarter, 22, and 22 quarter. I wanted to see us get above that 35, or at least test the 35 there, but
I'm gonna get stopped out here in 2 seconds.
just put your stop at like 26. If it gets below 26, then Just wait. Our band in the face.
Good day to you, sir.
And it stopped out.
That's funny.
Oh crap, it's not even hitting my stop. What the hell?
Oh boy. It didn't hit
Of
your
course,
stop, huh?
I'm in sim, but whatever.
Oh.
I think we might find a bid right here between 24 and 25. The people that were shorting the break of the 25 when it initially broke.
Oh, you have to actually submit. So when you make a change in TD, well, in the web version, if you just drag it around, you have to actually submit it. You can't just drag it and assume that it's auto submit.
I think you're right, DJ. All right, guys, I'm gonna go get a haircut. I still don't trust this move down. I'm just not gonna. There's obviously been opportunity, and this is still a flip zone, right? I just don't like a short from here. Is basically what I'm saying. It's a little bit too low for me. I'd rather look to get short, closer up to where the volume was at yesterday, maybe out of this zone 749, 748 level. I think we're still popping this 35. We're about to retest them again.
I'm glad it didn't fill.
That was a good response. Short still trap.
Yeah. And so
Just gotta get this 32 out of the way.
you've got this 20 SMA here. And if we get back above this, really, if we get back above 58, honestly, I think we're going to see a lot of short covering. And then, up here, have those single prints still that have yet to fill there. 38.15 is the target.
I just moved my cell.
But yeah, other than that, you guys have a wonderful weekend. I appreciate everyone hanging out. After I get back from my haircut, I'll jump in the Discord. I don't have anything else going on today. My wife's off work, so she can pick up the kids. Yeah, make sure that you're managing risk and sticking to your trade plan. Remember, it's Friday. There's no reason to just go full bore and risk it for the biscuit. If you've had a good week, don't give it all back on Friday. Nothing can ruin your weekend worse than that. But yeah, other than that, I will catch you guys later.
All right,
Thank
man.